the Omega Metroid podcast from OmegaMetroid.com. My name is Andy Spiteri, and I am joined by no one. I am by myself for right now, and as you could probably guess by listening to this intro, we've got something a little bit different for you this week. If you guys did not hear, I am away in Chicago for the Zelda Dungeon Marathon. Dak is away this weekend casting, and Doom is also not available this weekend. So we figured that instead of skipping a week and not having anything for everybody to listen to or releasing an older episode, we would try something a little bit different, which is a virtual theater episode. And for anybody that doesn't know, Virtual Theater is a podcast that I host with my good friend Gooey Fame, and it is a podcast about video game movies and the stories that shape them. So we've been going strong for about, 3 years or so, and we have a Patreon account that we have for Virtual Theater as well. And one of the Patreon exclusives for Virtual Theater is an episode by episode analysis. So an episode for every episode, an episode from Virtual Theater for every episode of Captain N, the Game Master. And for anybody that is not familiar with that show, this show is absolutely wild, okay? It is, I think everybody knows about the Zelda cartoon, which we also did an episode by episode review over on Virtual Theater Patreon as well. But think that show, but like with really weird versions of popular characters. So there's Kevin, the Game Master, and he and his dog Duke get transported into video game land and meet the Princess Lana, and they meet like a really weird version of Simon Belmont, who's kind of like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. There's Mega Man, who talks like a troll. There is Kid Icarus, who adds Icus to every single word that he says, which is super annoying. So it's a really weird show. And the main bad guy of the show is Mother Brain herself, which is hilarious because clearly the people that made Captain N don't know a single thing about Metroid. And in fact, I think they admitted as much, and that's why Samus is not in the show. So yeah, Mother Brain is the main bad guy, and she lives on the planet Metroid, which is shaped like a big brain, by the way. And, it's a wild show. We're just finishing up season 1 of Captain N. There's 2 seasons. And so, like I said, instead of skipping a week or going back into the vault or doing anything like that, I decided that it would be fun for you guys to listen to something a little bit different, a virtual theater episode that is centered around Captain N and the Game Master. And this is an episode rather, that is titled Mr. and Mrs. Mother Brain. And as the title, as it sounds, Mother Brain gets married. And it's just as weird as you are probably thinking. So please enjoy this bonus episode of Virtual Theater's Patreon series on Captain N and the Game Master. I want to make very clear, there is probably some not safe for work language in here, okay? And when I say probably, there definitely is. So just have that knowledge. Forewarned, use headphones if you're gonna listen. Maybe, obviously don't listen to it at work, but there is some bad language in here, okay? That's what Patreon lets us do over on Virtual Theater. So please enjoy this show. And if you're a fan of this, we've got tons and tons and tons of episodes on Captain N and the Zelda cartoon over on the Virtual Theater Patreon channel. And if you just like Goo and I kind of doing our thing, our regular episodes are free. There is a ton of different video game movie episodes like Super Mario Bros., Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, even some new ones. We're going to be doing Uncharted is our next episode, the Netflix Castlevania series. Lots and lots and lots of different stuff, and a couple of movies that we like as well. So check that out if you're a fan of this episode. And please enjoy the show. We're going to be back with a live new episode next week that Doom is going to be hosting with a very special guest. So look forward to that. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys when I get back from my trip. Until then, everybody, take care. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Virtual Theater's Patreon show all about Captain N and the Video Game Master. We are here with episode number 8, Mr. and Mrs. Mother Brain. Here we go. I feel like the show kind of regained a little bit of feng shui, I think.
Yeah.
Last two episodes weren't very hot, so this is good.
I will say my first note I took for this episode was that the animation is really shitty. But in this really shitty animated show, I think they have... I actually was like more into this even though we're in all the same areas we've been, because it took all these characters that we've been watching and did something like really goofy and funny with them. So I was into it.
I agree. I think that this was like a nice change from, I don't know, for like doing something new with like some of these characters. And because I mean, it's obvious now, like we're 8 episodes in. The formula should have been go to a new video game world every week, different setting, different whatever. And I feel like that's not really the formula. So to have an episode like this where it's like something a little bit different, I thought that it was good.
Yeah.
Like it lets you see like a different side of Simon and stuff. And god damn it, it turned Mother Brain babyface to me.
Oh wow. This is a big episode for you as such a big Metroid connoisseur, proponent,
yes,
spokesperson. This is like your moment. I feel like you should be talking about this on your podcast.
There is a ton of Metroid music in this episode, actually, by the way.
Yeah,
Tons of it.
noticed that where it'll sometimes even be when they're not in a Metroid area.
Oh, yeah.
It's just cool tone music, I guess.
Yeah, which is like continuously hilarious that like Samus or like nothing from Metroid is in this show because they didn't know anything about Metroid, which is just fantastic to me. Like the planet Metroid is shaped like a giant brain for Mother Brain. It's awesome.
They really thought Mother Brain was the star of Metroid.
Yeah. All right. I like actually kind of cackled to myself quietly while I was watching this, because like, you know how last episode we were talking about like how like some people in this show are just like so fucking dumb that they can't even function.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Like the show, this episode starts off and Lana's like, wow, we're signing a peace treaty with Mother Brain today.
That's what I mean, though, is like with the premise of the episode, it's like the show is really dumb. So similar to the dragon thing, I think like they should have made that dumb or Goofy hanging out with the dragon the premise. And in this, I like that it's like the premise starts off, we're going to sign a peace treaty with Mother Brain, and then gets even more silly. And yeah, I love what you said. Yeah, they're so dumb. It's like obviously not what's going to happen.
They're so fucking stupid. like okay, so Kid Icarus is practicing his bow shots, which is also hilarious because this guy can't hit a barn with an arrow, as we'll see in this show. But he's practicing his bow and arrow work, and like shitty Mega Man
at the door.
Mega Man's like, "Why are you practicing? We're at peace." And then to jump ahead here a little bit, after Mother Brain fucks everybody and like has this giant tank that she rolls in on this peace treaty with, Lana's like, "What about the treaty?"
They're so shocked. God. Yeah, this is like, well, I mean, it's obvious like this is made for like 4-year-olds or something. But yeah.
Oh my god.
They are really dumb.
They are so fucking stupid. And I was like wheezing. I was like, these guys are so fucking dumb. Like, I don't know why it tickled me as much as it did, but oh my god.
It met the moment. This is the episode we deserve.
So the premise gets even more ridiculous, but it's good ridiculous.
Yes, exactly.
And it's kind of like I'm sure that this has been done in like a lot of different like shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the one that came to mind for me right away was like Harry Potter when one of them, I think it's like Ron. He takes he takes something and like makes him fall in love with something or whatever. But anyway, so Kid Icarus has this arrow, and he's training with it. And Simon rolls up and takes his arrow, and Icarus is like, "That's my love at first sight arrow. You shoot it at someone, and they'll fall in love with whoever they see at first sight."
I want to properly quote him. He says, "The foist poison they see falls with someone," and he calls him Simonius.
Oh, jeez.
The foist poison. What is this accent? Where is he from?
Oh, so this is a fine premise, actually. I like this premise a lot. So
you did say this has happened in like every kids show, but I think that's very fitting for this very unclever show to just do something that's been done a million times that's actually funny.
So Simon takes this arrow, of course, and he's like, "I'm gonna shoot Lana and make her fall in love with me," and they go to this peace treaty, which is just the most hilarious thing ever. Mother Brain is like not even pretending that she's gonna sign this. She just rolls over with like a tank, which is awesome.
Well, and it's also like Kid Icarus is training. I thought he was training to be like at his best when they're at this signing. So he's like a hired gun, but instead, no, they're just fucking around. And Simon's like, "Yeah, they're signing this peace treaty. Now is the perfect time for me to go shoot this love arrow." Yeah, buddy. So Simon shoots and he misses Lana and he hits something and it bounces back. The arrow ends up hitting himself, and then the first thing he sees is Mother Brain, so he falls in love with her. And this is pretty good, actually. I like this little his interaction, and he like all of his compliments towards Mother Brain, and like they're so ridiculous that this was winning me over. I liked it. Maybe all that Mother Brain needs is love. Because Mother Brain says like, "You couldn't love me. No one loves me." And I was like, wow. that was a great line. There was another line later where I think it's like Eggplant or someone's
it's
like,
Eggplant. Oh.
Yeah, he's like, "Nobody could love you. You're too ugly."
Quote, like, "No one could possibly love you. You're too ugly." Wow.
That's funny. Like, well, yeah, it's just, it makes her character, like you said, kind of more interesting, because we see in previous episodes, she's like looking at herself in the mirror. She's like so vain, she's like, "Oh, I'm such a lovely brain," or something.
What a thing for like a kid's cartoon show to say to like young boys and girls, impressionable minds and stuff like that. Like, "No one could love you. You're too ugly." And maybe there are some people out there that are going to be saying like, "Oh, well, they meant Mother Brain's ugly because she's a bad person." That's not what they meant. They mean that she's just like, she's ugly. That's what they meant. Yeah.
You know what? They're not wrong though. So they should say it. They should tell the kids, if you are a brain in a jar, no one will ever love you.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like,
you were convinced by this episode. Maybe.
I've never met any brains in jars other than Mother Brain, of course. But you never know. I think there's someone for everyone.
That should be a thing you could do in Metroid. Is you could also charm Mother Brain instead of fight. It should have an alternate ending.
Can you imagine? Wow, Mass Effect style Metroid. That'd be badass.
Yeah.
All right, so the good news is that they send old kid Shitcarus up to... I don't know why I was so proud of that. I wrote down Shitcarus because I just hate Kid Icarus in my notes. So they send him and they send Mega Man up to the top of Mount Icarus to get a cure for Simon.
Yeah. They're given like a quest or something, right? And like a fucking like German dude comes onto some screen. It's like, "Get over here to Castlevania," and they're like, "And we're gonna go to Metroid or something." It's really weird.
The sequence of event is really weird. So Icarus going to Mount Icarus makes sense, but then Lana's like, "Let's go to Metroid," and it's like, what?
She says, "You don't have to come if you don't want to, Kevin." And I'm like, what the fuck are we even doing here? It was so Kevin could go like, "This is better than doing chores," but it's like they've never made it seem like Kevin would leave. I don't know. Like, why was this line in here? They should have just been like, "Let's go," and Kevin would be like, "Yes."
Here's what I think. I think that they were trying to play up because Mother Brain has taken the infatuated Simon back to Metroid with her, and so Lana is like, "I gotta go rescue Simon," and I think they're trying to play up like, I have to go rescue Simon. I know you don't like him, but you don't have to come if you don't want because...
Oh my god.
I think that was it. That's what I got.
Okay, I can see that. I don't think they did a good job with that, but I totally see it now.
This show doesn't do a good job with much.
Yeah.
I mean...
I'm not too worried about it, I guess. That's not a big critique. It's just, I thought it was a weird line.
So, these guys, they're just like, we're going to Metroid. And, which I guess, like, could have been interesting, because nobody's ever actually been to Metroid. But then, the show kind of pulls a fast one on us, because Mother Brain is just like, all right, Simon, prove your love to me, and take over Castlevania for me. Which he does, and then Kevin and Lana go to Castlevania instead. And this guy, Simon, is releasing all these, like, vampires and stuff, and they're all awesome.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
They're awesome. Dracula comes back and he's pretty tight.
Oh, dude.
He turns into a weird fucking bat. Thing. I was like, what is this? Is truly demonic. It actually met the tone of some of the Castlevania games.
This bat, like, I mean, you're right. You should be fighting this thing in, like, Symphony of the Night. It's crazy. I wish that Dracula was, like, a full-fledged member of the group, you know?
Yeah. He does get some good moments later, like he tailors Simon's wedding tux or whatever by chomping out of his teeth. That was pretty good. They should give him more stuff like that.
By the way, Dr. Wily came back for the first time, and it feels like forever.
Yeah, he's hanging out. He's in there sometimes. He's similar to Dracula almost, but he's on a slightly higher tier.
I don't know. I really like Dracula. I dig Dracula. I like this guy.
I do like him. He has, on top of all the different, like, creatures he summons, I think, one of the best characters I've ever seen in this show, who they do totally dirty. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Nope. Who are you talking
about? He summons... I was just hoping you would be on the same page here. He summons a guy named Mr. Bones, who's a cool skeleton, and he looks like sick, and he's got like a backwards cap on or something, and he's like, Mr. Bones is gonna get you.
that guy is pretty good, but let me just count that with, like, this is why Duke is the man. Okay, this is why Duke is number one on the team. It's just like, Duke, go eat your bone. This guy fucks up Mr. Bones.
So if Duke wasn't there, Mr. Bones would have been fucked, but...
No, Mr. Bones would have laid the smackdown. Yeah.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Bones, I want to see him come back. I think I would play, like, a Mr. Bones game.
You gotta have Mr. Bones as the guy on the picture of this episode.
Oh, for sure. He is the king of this episode.
Mother Brain in her wedding dress, though, is also pretty good. I don't know.
Well,
Mr. Bones.
There's some pretty fucked up Kid Icarus monsters in the next scene, too. That I'm like, what are these? Are these in the game?
Yeah, I don't know. So, let's keep going here. So, Lana and Kevin get to Castlevania, and Simon fucking dumps Lana in the Forest of Forgetfulness or whatever it's called. I thought this was so awesome just to see Simon just duking on Lana, and then Kevin. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, good. Nice heel turn, Simon here. I liked it.
But like, I was cheering for Simon and Mother Brain, and just like I just hate Kevin. What's the name of that? What's the name of that kid in the show, that the wizard? What's that guy's name?
Oh,
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage, yeah.
Oh, Kevin is that kid.
He's worse, I would say.
Yeah, okay, I could accept that. Yeah.
Which, yeah.
So there we go. They're in the Forest of Forgetfulness, and here it comes. You knew it was coming. It's awesome every time. Beat it,
Down,
Beat It starts great stuff. Just Mother Brain is putting on like all of her bling and her ice, and just Beat It is blaring in the background. This is good.
Oh yeah, there's good. Well, it comes later too. There's like a later like wedding montage. They really, that's where I like how fun this becomes, because it becomes like one of those shows about, or like one of those like dramas where it's like, we got to break up the wedding, and like at the last minute they burst into the wedding. And you could feel it building towards that, and I was like, that's so insane that's what this episode is.
Yeah, his Mother Brain and Simon are getting married, and I actually wrote down, I'm like, this is a main event segment of Raw, like a WWE wedding.
Yeah,
something's gonna get fucked up, but I can't wait. And sure enough, it does. Just as they're about to get married, Team N shows up, and they try and shoot Simon with this cure arrow that Kid Icarus has successfully gotten.
I want to talk about how they get it, because they go to that guy. He's like an arrowsmith or something, or whatever you call him. And he's like, they're like shooting different arrows he has, and one like makes
yeah, the grass.
That's my grass arrow. And then they shoot one and a cow appears, and that's my cow arrow. And I was like, that's fucking cool. Cow arrow? That should be in a game for sure, in the next Kid Icarus game.
Can you imagine just like the grass arrow, and like there's this big grass monster that comes out?
Yeah. I would love to summon a cow at the drop of a hat. I think that would be tight. But then he's like gives them 3 angry arrows. And I thought they were going to do a thing where it's like the anger is supposed to cancel out the love, I guess, but I thought they were going to do a thing where like they were going to accidentally hit someone else with the anger arrow, and it was going to like cause a whole new scenario. But I guess we had to like get to the end of the episode.
Well, so Kid Icarus, I mean, this guy sucks. Like I say, he can't hit anything. But so he does miss, and he hits Dr. Wily, and Wily starts taking out, I think, King Hippo or Eggman, one of the two. He starts taking out one of the two. And he hits Simon with the anger arrow again, but so the asterisk beside these anger arrows is that to break the love spell, you have to hit the person that has the love spell on him, and then he has to look at the person that he's in love with to fall out of love with them. Mm-hmm. So on the 3rd try, he gets Simon.
They do get it. Yeah.
Man, and Simon, just as they're about to say I do, is just like, I could never love someone like you. And I felt for Mother Brain here.
Oh.
I really did.
Yeah. It's heartbreaking. Now she's kind of justified, I think, in whatever she does to them.
I agree. I agree. It's, you know what? There's some things that you shouldn't truffle with, as Michael Scott might say, and this is one of them. The heart is one of them. I feel like I felt completely bad for Mother Brain here. I was just like, this Captain N group with Kevin and Icarus and Lana, just the worst. They're the worst.
They did. I know it's like, you don't want to body shame Mother Brain or whatever, but there was some good attempts at humor maybe involving her throughout this, where like in the beginning I remember Simon like kisses her weird tendril that she has.
Yeah.
And then I really like during the wedding where Dracula is a fish. Okay, I wrote that down because it was just insane that Simon Belmont is having a wedding ceremony with Mother Brain that is being officiated by Dracula. This is like, reads like weird fan fiction or something, or like weird deviant art you would do. But anyway, during the ceremony, Dracula's like, place the ring. We'll skip this part.
Yeah.
I was like,
maybe not. Yeah.
Anyway, I liked all that stuff. Like, yeah, just the absurdity of like, this Castlevania character is getting married to this Metroid character, and Dracula's there, and there's cow arrows. I was like, this is a good episode.
Yep, I thought that this was a great episode, maybe the best of the show actually, because it was like it was a fun but tired and true proven trope, but they did it in a good way. It was I don't know, it was different. It was fun. You know,
this might be the best episode of animated television that takes place in the world of Castlevania.
yeah, maybe. I guess it's got some competition, but I mean, you can't argue against this, can you?
No, yeah, it was silly, but it was pretty good.
This is a solid episode. I thought that maybe it's just so we watched this one and the episode before back to back, and maybe it was because the one before this was like so bad to me. But I came away from this and I was like, all right, that was good.
Yeah, put a little bit of wind back in the sails because we've talked about how many episodes there are of this, and I was like, fuck, we're going to watch all these. But there's enough fun ones in there that a bad one doesn't really get me down too bad.
I think maybe we'll take like a little breather between season 1 and season 2 as well. Maybe do like a commentary or two or something like that, and then jump into season 2.
Yeah,
there's a lot of these episodes.
What are we like? We're over halfway though with this season, right?
I think so. I think there is 24 or 23 episodes. So we're over halfway for season 1. So I'm presuming that it has either 13 or 12 episodes. So yeah, we crossed the halfway point and we're in the home stretch.
Yeah, it hasn't, unlike watching some of the episodes, this experience has not felt like, oh, when is this over,
Yeah.
The show on a whole, it sucks, but it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. It's not good, but it's mostly been fun. So yeah, there
exactly.
it is. All right, episode number 8, Mr. and Mrs. Mother Brain in the can. And of course, thank you to everyone for listening and for tuning in to Virtual Theater on Patreon. And we'll have some more Captain N for you in the near future. Until then, everybody.
OmegaMetroid.com is here. We're so proud to finally share our website with you, giving Metroid fans a dedicated Metroid one-stop shop for the latest news, fan creations, walkthroughs, maps, and of course, the latest episodes of the Omega Metroid podcast. That's not all. If you'd rather listen on YouTube, you can check out episodes there. And if you really want to take your Omega Metroid experience to the next level, consider supporting us on Patreon. You'll get access to special Discord roles, a platform on the website to promote your projects, exclusive bonus shows, and so much more. Memberships start as just as little as $1 a month. OmegaMetroid.com is the source of all this great content. So whether you're a new Metroid fan or a series veteran, OmegaMetroid.com is the place for you. Check out OmegaMetroid.com today.
For you. Hyrule is under attack. What are you doing?
Well, excuse me, Princess. I've been listening to Virtual Theater's episodes all about the Legend of Zelda cartoon. They're both hilarious and insightful.
Okay, Link, I guess you're off the hook. I've heard that Virtual Theater is a podcast that only covers video game movies. Why haven't I seen this episode released yet?
Because this is a Patreon exclusive set of 13 episodes. This is only being released to patrons, along with other great bonus content.
Well, don't just dilly-dally, Link. I know of all the great episodes available for free over at soundcloud.com/virtual theater. But tell me where I can sign up to get these bonus episodes.
Over at patreon.com/virtual theater, of course. You know, Princess, I think all this info deserves a kiss.
Not a chance, Link. I gotta go get those Legend of Zelda cartoon exclusive episodes. I'll see you later.
Well, excuse me.